Welcome to the Game of Stones podcast, season 2. We're here with Mr. Shaun Stephens from Tenax USA. You have a very interesting story.
So I'm a consultant at Tenax. I actually have my own business, so I'm a consultant for them. What my role is to educate, to train our distributors in our products, and then in turn, they will go out and sell what we need to sell for the fabricator shops.
So sales and marketing.
Sales and marketing, yeah. I've been doing
and
that.
And sales leadership.
Yes, 100%. Over 20 years experience doing that.
Oh, wow.
In
Would
the
you
UK.
start when you were 15?
Yeah, I was young.
Yeah,
they threw me straight in. I remember the first sales job I had was in recruitment.
Oh, wow.
And it was old school. Back in the UK, we have business pages and yellow pages, which is where all the businesses are in a directory. I remember he sat me down on a table, put the book there and went, right, pick the phone up, start from A to Z, let's see how much business you can get out of it.
Wow.
And that was my introduction.
This was in the UK?
This was in the UK.
London?
No, Birmingham. So about
Birmingham.
a few hours away from London.
Got it.
So that was my first introduction
We
to
have
sales.
some customers in Birmingham.
You do? Alabama?
Oh, Alabama. Never mind.
Yes.
Sorry.
A little bit of a difference.
Slightly. A little different accent. Right.
Definitely.
So when you were calling these, this was like the white pages, or?
Yeah. So I don't know what your
we have
equivalent.
Like private people back in the day was white pages.
Okay.
And businesses were the yellow pages.
That's what we did, and he just said, sit down and see how much business you can get. So that was a kind of an introduction to sales. It was a hard introduction because it was about numbers. It was about...
So you were cold calling, basically.
Cold calling. Any opportunities we had, we written on a card and we put them in a box, and that's how I started. But in my career, I always wanted to improve. There was always something inside of me who just wanted to be better. I was never afraid to learn.
Step.
Yeah. I was never afraid to learn. I always had mentors everywhere I go. So I decided what I wanted to do is just try and be a salesperson, but in as many industries as possible. So I went from recruitment, and then I went into the vehicle industry. From the vehicle industry, I went into the technology industry. From the technology industry, I went into the building industry. So I was versed in many industries, and what it helped me was I wasn't afraid to use the basic sales skills in any industry.
What would you find, or what did you find? Was there a difference? Did you find one industry more difficult than the other with the person that you're pitching to? Because I would imagine, and just I learned in the hospitality industry, I think sales, being a waiter. First I was a busboy host, then waiter. And I always say to everybody, I think that the world would be a better place if instead of telling kids to go to college right after high school, you say, go work at a restaurant for 2 years in hospitality, and you'll learn people's psychology when they're in a bad mood, when they're drunk, when they're hungry, when they're not, feel like they haven't been waited on properly. I just feel like construction industry is very challenging as well.
It's different. And I'm glad you met, because my first job when I left school was working in an Italian restaurant. And I was floor manager within 2 weeks. So I was 16 when I left school.
Oh, wow.
And I worked in an Italian restaurant, and they threw me as floor manager, and I'm dealing with drunk people and people who were complaining. It gave me a good insight about communication.
You guys have drunk people too in the UK?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have. It's an issue.
As much as
it's a global issue.
as much as the US.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know who's worse.
Maybe more. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to work out which is worse at the moment. But it just gave a good insight about communication. And like you said, when you're dealing with people and different stages, and they have different problems, it's all about communication. I learned that from an early age, and that helped me with my sales career moving forwards. But even though I worked in different industries, I found that the common sales and the basic sales skills is transferable within all environments and all industries.
At the end of the day, it's people, psychology.
100%.
Right?
Mindset.
And so you learned you liked people, you liked interacting with people.
Yeah.
That's something that, I think that you can learn sales for sure, because some people just have that burning desire, but it's not, I think it's not the burning desire to learn sales per se. but those people have a burning desire to learn human connection, because that's what it's about. And some people have it by their DNA.
Yeah.
I notice that most people that I've met that are intrinsically in their DNA great connectors with people,
Yeah.
it's because they had one or both parents, at least one, that was super social and like very good at connecting with people. So that's what they observed.
Yeah.
So I have 3 little girls, for example.
Yeah.
And when they were little, and they'd be like, "Daddy, can you ask the waitress to get us more ketchup?" You know? And I'd be like, if they were 9 years old, I would be like, "Go ask her yourself." I go, "Don't worry, just go up to her and just say, 'Excuse me, may I please have whatever?'"
Yeah.
And I push them to do that.
Yeah.
And now they're completely unabashed, brave. They don't care. They will talk to any adult, and it's almost to a fault.
Yeah.
You know, because I brought them to the Poseidon experience at the covering show. Remember, we were playing basketball?
So cute. We had a mini
We were playing
performance, didn't we?
basketball, and they were trying to play in the corner while in the basketball court while we were playing, and somehow the ball went, and she was looking up at one of the other guys. And she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Honey, what are you doing?"
This is my domain.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are doing
I
here.
don't know why you're
But
calling
that's
out
one thing I did
adults.
pick up with your girls was how approachable there was, and the communication. Doesn't matter what age.
Yeah.
We're grown adults.
Yeah.
And they were conversing with us. And I think that's important for kids anyway, moving forwards, to have that. Just little things like,
is.
why don't you go and ask the waitress or the waiter?
Well, that's what I was asking, because my dad was very social. My dad was like your best friend in
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
My father would become everybody's best friend in a
Yeah.
room. He really just loved people. And so he'd walk up to you and say, "Steven, what's your name?"
Yeah.
And then you'd shake his hand, right?
I'm going to shake it for you.
Yeah, like this?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Wow." He's like, "You got a strong grip. Do you work out like this?" And he'd be like, "Look, touch my arm. Touch." And then he'd be like,
I think
"I
you
do
just-
push-ups." And right away, it's like,
Yeah.
that person, they love my dad. Like, he was his best friend. So did you have a parent that was social?
I did. It was my mom. My
mom.
mom was social. My dad wasn't so social, but my dad helped me in other ways. So I tried to take both.
The good of both.
Yeah, because my dad had so
Yeah.
much empathy. He
Right.
listened to people.
Right.
And I took that from my dad, because listening in sales is one of the most important factors, is listening to who you're speaking to. Less
Right.
talking, more listening. But then the approachable side of my mum, where she goes into a room and everybody gravitates to her. That in itself was
charisma.
brilliant. Oh, 100%. And that's half the job. If someone
Right.
feels like they feel comfortable with you and can approach and talk to you, that's half the battle. So yeah, definitely my mum was my influence in regards to speaking to people. And then the dad, more quiet, listening, and more the empathy side of it was, I thought, is a nice little mix that I got.
So how, from all that background, did you end up in Fort Myers, Florida?
How long we got?
Short.
Okay, it was a woman. I was on my own, looking after my 2 boys, and in the UK, and I was out at a stag do. You guys call it a
Bachelor party.
Yeah, that's it. But this was a bachelor week. Yeah, mine was in Spain, so
Oh, wow.
it was
Very nice.
a good week. It was a good week in space. No, it was Valencia. It was Valencia.
Oh, that's a nice place too.
It's stunning. But yeah, I was there. I was minding my own business. I needed a break, and my life at the time was ups and downs. And one of my friends was talking to a lady from Miami, your hometown, and we didn't believe she existed. She did, and there was on FaceTime. And as there was on FaceTime, I walked past with my strawberry daiquiri. Don't hate me for it. Strawberry daiquiri, and she was like, "Who's that guy?" And I was like, "It's my friend Shaun." Call me over, showed me the phone, and then she shoved the phone into her friend who was driving. And she was driving because she lost her home in Hurricane Ian, and she was started to furnish her emergency apartment while her house was getting fixed at the time. So she put the camera to her, my face, we looked at each other. I was like, "Oh, okay, she's cute." And the first thing she said was, "I have options, thank you." I was like, "What?" So we spoke, we got to know each other. We both had similar situations that we was going through, and we became friends. And then from friends, it became more. And then she was like, right, we need to get married. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay here in the UK?
So you guys obviously visited each other, right?
Oh, it was like...
It wasn't just like texting and emailing and
No,
you're going to
no,
get married.
she came over,
Okay.
I came over.
Okay.
So it was like...
So there was some physical interaction.
Oh, absolutely. That
Seeing
would
each
be
other.
weird if it wasn't.
Right.
For sure.
No, for sure.
So she came over and she met my friends and understood the UK environment, fish and chips and all of that fun stuff that goes with that.
Yeah.
And then I came over and I had a good American experience.
In Florida.
In Florida.
Fort Myers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fort
Not
Myers.
Miami.
Beautiful. No, so when I first met it was in Miami.
Oh, wow.
And then she was like, yeah, I don't live there. I live at least,
It's a little different.
yeah, just a little. So we was in Brickell for the most of this time.
Because Miami's amazing. Not that Fort Myers isn't, but it's not Miami. And
not.
if you had come to Miami and been like, yeah, I'm moving to Florida.
Yeah, Fort Myers is completely different. It's beautiful. It's quiet. It's serene. It has what it needs, and it's a beautiful area. So yeah, we decided, she's the one. I'm gonna get married. I spoke to my 2 boys. I've got 2 boys in the UK who I absolutely love, and we said let's be a blended family. And I decided to take the leap. So it wasn't quite straightforward for obvious reasons. So I needed a job that will help us. So my last job before I moved here, I was a sales manager for a building company, a temporary building company. So I looked after X number of sales guys who worked UK-wide and nationally, and I looked after them for a number of years and supported the sales director. So my role there was to train, to teach, to grow. And one of my main passions is growth. I love people winning. I love seeing someone who has a least amount of experience or no experience, because most of the people that we employed at that time was university graduates. Fresh, no sales experience. And
Completely green.
Completely green. Like literally have no sales experience whatsoever.
And so through, I think Eric, right? Which
Yeah.
Eric, it's funny because I happen to know him for probably 20 years,
Yeah.
or maybe a little bit less than that, but
Yeah.
he was selling tools back in the day now he's got his own company. It's a great company here in Florida.
Yes.
Selling tools and supplies to granite fabricators, Skyline.
Yes, correct.
And he's got that new showroom, which is beautiful.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And so he happened to be in the circle, right? Of friends with
Yeah, so
your
with my wife. So what's been happening is I've been going backwards and forwards, and the only way I could go backwards and forwards is I had to leave my current job in the UK, and I decided to set up my own company,
Right.
which is Growth Lingo.
right.
And that company supports businesses, growth coaching, sales coaching, mentality coaching, anything to improve people and let them grow, because that's what I was doing my last job. So that enabled me to be backwards and forwards and traveling, which is not ideal as newlyweds,
Right.
but that's where
It's
we
tough.
was at the time.
But you had to do something.
Yeah,
Right.
and Eric knew that.
Right.
So it was Hurricane Milton it was Helene. So we had the 2.
What year was that one? I forget.
Oh no, that
We've
was
had so
last
many.
year. Tell me about
So-
it. No, she didn't tell me about that, Chestnut.
Okay.
For sure.
October 2024.
Yeah, so I think it was Helene first, and our house got destroyed, and we had flood going through it. So I had to travel back from the UK to come back to my family, because I was working in the UK with Growth Lingo. So while I was over there to have a look at and assess the damage, Milton happened. So
Wow.
while Milton happened, we stayed at Eric's house, which is our friend, and he knew about the business and what I'd done. Anyway, moving forward.
And he introduced you with the CEO of Tenax USA.
Well, Brian
Right.
rang Eric and was like, Eric, I need someone to help out, to help consult, to help grow our distributor unit. And Eric was a distributor of Tenax.
Right.
Eric was like, well, I can't do it because I've got my own business. But I know a guy that does training and sales growth.
And he set up the appointment.
And he set up the appointment. I spoke to Brian and Rich. Richard is the
Rich
sales
Cleveland.
director.
Yeah.
Richie Cleveland.
He's amazing.
The legend.
He's been in the industry a long time.
He's
Great guy.
Awesome. And Brian in the game for such a long time, knowledgeable, smart guys, know exactly what they're doing. And we had a chat. Anyway, we had a chat, and they had the same ethos that I had, which was intriguing to me because, you know, I'm not from this industry at all. So I'm learning on the job, and I'm learning quite quickly. It's all I do now is the stone industry.
Right.
So I literally had a conversation. Our synergies are live, and what we want to do, and what we wanted to do was growth, improving, training the distributors with our products, training them to be better salespeople, so they can go out and sell our products, and making sure what they're offering to the end clients, which is the fabricators. That's what happened.
So then you got basically hired onto Tenax as a contractor, as a consultant?
Correct.
Got it. And
Correct.
so you're in charge of obviously leading and opening distributor accounts, leading those people on sales strategy and how to sell the product.
100%. So I go out and make sure that our distributors are growing, training them accordingly to make sure that they are up to date with the training and sales training and product training. So we only sell to distributors. And our products, we do adhesives, we do sealants, we do cleaners, we do glues, we do polishing pads, and we get to the material handling for wear as well.
Weha. Some people know it as Weha.
Yeah,
Weha.
depends on where you're from.
We talked about that. So Weha or Weha products like the slab racks, the clamps, the hoppers,
100%.
all that good stuff. And now you told me you have a new line we were talking about before, D-Star.
Yes.
That does floor polishing machines.
Exactly, and we do all sorts of blades, diamond blades as well. So you've got your bridge saw blades, your turbo blades, but that's specifically for the flooring trade, which is great. And also what's great about it is that for D-Star, we are the only suppliers for D-Star in North America. So if you need a D-Star product, you need to come through.
Where's D-Star out of?
So they're based in Poland.
Poland.
So they're based in Europe. And
because Weha is Germany, right?
Weha's Germany.
Tenax is Italy.
Yes, that's correct.
And I think you mentioned to me Tenax has recently acquired Achilles, which is an Italian company that makes some affordable economic bridge saws.
100%.
Solutions.
And it's good because what we want to do for all of our distributors is give them so much product that can help them moving forwards and provide good service for the fabricators stores and the slab distributors. If we can support them, we want to be a one-stop shop for everything that they need, whether it's glues, whether it's sealants, whether it's sealants with ProSeal Nano, and then you've got your enhancers, which is Asia, which is Tenax. All of these products are ready, available for our distributors to sell to fabricators.
What products do you have? Because one thing that's really starting to blow up for Poseidon is we're doing the hybrid cycle.
Yep.
And so when you do the hybrid cycle, you can cut miters upside down.
Yep.
And one of the things that we do is we overcut in the corners of the sink.
Okay.
In order to get separation when we cut what we call integrated sinks or mitered sinks, where the whole thing is built out of stone.
Yeah.
It's a very nice process. And we want to make sure that when we epoxy the inside corners,
Yes.
at the same time we're filling in some overcut gaps,
Okay.
that we use a material that's as strong or helps to reinforce those corners because there's notches in them.
Okay.
Where similarly, people use glue to put in steel rods and notches where they're trying to reinforce the material.
Yeah.
But I know that there's glue that has an equal or greater strength than the actual stone strength. So by putting the glue in those overcut corners, it would reinforce the granite, so to speak, as you're laminating and gluing these miter pieces.
100%. We've got glue that will do anything. One of the glues which is great is our epoxy glue, which you spoke about earlier, called our Glax Easy glue. What's beautiful about that glue is
What's it called again?
It's called Glax Easy.
Glax Easy
it's
glue.
Transparent glue. It's
Got it.
absolutely brilliant.
Is it acrylic? No, it's...
You're asking me technical questions there.
Yeah, what's the... I forgot, you told me there was polyester, there was...
So you've got polyester, you have vinyl ester, and then you have your epoxies, which is the Glax Easy. And what's great about that glue is that it's indoor and outdoor. So it's zero yellowing.
Oh, wow.
which is absolutely, and what's the most important thing, it's VOC free. So there's no smell.
VLC, what's VLC?
VOC.
VOC.
Yeah, so basically there's no smell to it. Those people having the smells, and when you're mixing the glue in the house, it really does react. But with this glue, you don't smell a thing, which is absolutely
Yeah,
brilliant.
notoriously glues have always been stinky, right?
Yes,
Everybody tries to wear masks, but
Absolutely.
there's no avoiding it.
yeah.
So that's pretty interesting that there's no odor.
Yeah, and it's important because what it is, it just opens up other avenues. And we was talking about product lines before, and
Yeah.
and Tenax is really trying to push the barrier of new equipment, new SKUs, new opportunities for distributors to have new product lines to sell.
Right.
And you know, Brian and Richard, they don't stand still with certain things. They always looking to improve and give the service and the products that the fabricators need. Hence D-Star, which is great because that opens up a new avenue for the flooring trade, not just
Nice.
the kitchen tops.
Right. So you guys are now in flooring,
Yep,
kitchen,
yep,
material handling,
yep. Tooling,
any kind of stone,
absolutely.
tooling. You guys sell also polishers and things like that?
Yes, we do.
polishers.
Yeah, we do air polishers.
Wow.
We have water filtration, dust walls.
Oh, wow, that's
So-
true. I've seen the VEA water filtration system.
It's fantastic.
The dust collectors, the dust
Yeah.
walls. You guys offer all of that product lineup.
And just to clarify, even though VEA is its own brand and it's a very strong brand, VEA is Tenax.
Okay.
They are all under the same umbrella in
Got it.
regard. So people still think, oh yeah, it's Tenax. Oh, you do material handling, it's VEA. Oh, I didn't know it was VEA. We are now combined and it's under the same.
Along with D-Star?
Yep. So
And-
D-Star, we don't own D-Star. We are the
Oh, I
main.
see.
We're the main
Got it.
people that they need to go to
Distributor, right.
distributor to distribute all their
But
goods.
Achilles, yes, is Tenax.
Correct, which is good because they've dealt with Achilles and sold Achilles for many years, and now an opportunity is to take them under our roof and push Achilles.
And
it's a
also
good
have more
product.
control of service, after parts, etc. Because
Absolutely.
you probably were, Tenax was responsible for a lot of those sales.
It is. It's cleaner, and it's a cleaner experience for our distributors and whoever works with us as partners.
Got it.
So it's
great.
absolutely brilliant. So yeah, there's growth there, and I am just looking to grow. I'm just looking to just keep evolving as a person. Like for me, moving from another country here, it's daunting at times. Cultures are different.
Of course. Yeah.
The way I speak is different.
Yeah, a little bit.
Everybody wants to speak to me. Even if I go to Starbucks, it's like, can I have a coffee, please? They're like, where are you from? Are you from Australia? I'm, no, from the UK. So
Yeah.
it's getting used to how everybody does business here. And that's one thing I'm learning right now, is in the UK, it's not much more about relationships. It's about, okay, you say what you do this, and we're gonna make sure that you do this. Here it's more doing what you say and say what you do.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say you're gonna do something, you do it. Then we're gonna have the best relationship ever. And I like that because that's how I do sales. That's how we met. So you asked me the question, what's the difference between the UK, selling in the UK and then selling in the US?
Yes.
Okay. I would say the UK is more transactional. I wouldn't say it's just
a little
warm.
colder.
A little colder. But I know you guys say that we are cold as a nation anyway. But yeah, it's more transactional. It's more strategic. It's more structured in what they do. But each is different. In the US, how I feel, you're a bit warmer, I think.
Yeah.
And tell me if I'm wrong. I would think that it's all about personal relationship. If they like you, if they feel comfortable with you, if you're listening to them, and they'd be more inclined to work with you because they feel safe in talking to you and having that situation, that conversation, that honest conversation. And being honest, I think, is really important over here for business. Am I wrong?
No, I feel just kind of seeing how other countries operate, because I've been to a lot of countries. I've been to Italy a million times. I used to go as a kid, and I can tell that I feel like a lot of other countries, they have a little more pride. In other words, they'll buy from you, but they'll keep you at an arm's length. Even if they're selling to you, they'll keep you at an arm's length. They don't like to socialize too much.
Yeah.
I think that in the U.S., they'll become very friendly with you, and they treat you like a real friend. Kind of, they open up a little more.
Yeah.
I think that Americans, they love the fact that they're living the American dream. We're very proud as a people. So like living the American dream, we're very happy to be in that. And when you do good business with a vendor or a customer, both people, they'll tend to open up and kind of, they work more together. Look at it more as a team, as opposed to like what you said, like they're transactional.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where it's a little different. I think that, I'm sure you can see it with your customers, same thing with me and my customers. They look at us as a part of their team.
Yes.
And so if we're a part of their team, it's easier to solve problems when there are problems. There's always going to be problems.
Absolutely.
Right? It's just a matter of how you address them.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the people that I buy from, that are my vendors or our vendors in Italy or wherever they are in the country, we always work together as long as there's communication. And there's more of a feeling of like, you're a part of my team, you're a part of my family.
Yeah.
Whereas I think in Europe and the rest of the world, it's more like, oh, let's do business. Okay, we did business, like we're good. Have a nice life, and I won't bother you as long as you do your job.
That's pretty much. The statement is you're only as good as your last job. You're only as good as the last piece of work that you've done. And they take it literally.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long you've been friends. If the last piece of work is not as good as the one before.
Yeah, there's no sympathy. There's no empathy.
No.
There's a saying that a good buddy of mine from Tulsa, Oklahoma, he once told me. He said, one oh shit can undo 30 attaboys.
I love that.
One oh shit can undo 30 attaboys.
Have you experienced that?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's how we became friends, and I think we respect each other, and I think respect is really, really important for growth.
Yeah.
It's really important for growth.
Proud to be, a distributor.
Well, I'm
Tenax,
proud for you guys to be a distributor.
It was great to meet you too. We met by chance. We were in the same space area, booth space area during TICE in Las Vegas, 2025.
Yeah.
And
good times.
Yeah.
I was like, who's that guy over there? Richard was like, oh, that's Joe Elva. He's a cool guy. As soon as I met you,
thank you.
What did you say? All right, mate, how you doing? You all right?
I picked up on the British accent, and I love to do imitations. So,
what do you do now?
I immediately went into the movie Snatch.
Yes.
From the year, it was 2001 or something. But
oh, great movie for sure.
Amazing. Cult classic.
Well, you broke down my barrier because it's like, you know what, I think with cultures, and when you're moving from one culture and one business, one country to another business, it's respecting that country's culture, but then stay true to who you are.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing now. I'm like, I respect you. I respect what you do, how you do things. That's my mantra. And that's why we became good friends.
Yeah.
No,
and I appreciate, I feel like the country was built on foreigners. My parents came from another country to this country to show us you could live the American dream, if you work hard and stick to those principles. And when I see anybody coming from another country too, as long as they have that love for the country and they want to do right by the country, add value to the country, those people should be welcome.
Hard work is important. I have 5 kids, 5 boys, right? So they need to be fed. And I think that hard work is something that's instilled with me by my parents.
Yeah.
That's something that I want to see my 5 boys to have that skill and that desire to work hard. If they see me and their mom doing it, then of course they're going to do the same as well.
Yeah, you got to lead by example, for sure.
But if you can't lead your kids by example, they're going to find it from somewhere else.
They're going to get another example. You might as well be the right, proper example.
And they can blame me if it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I have a code that I have, and it's part of my flight code is motivation is good. But when you grow, you need to land. Because if you don't land, It's just turbulence. And I think that's really important. You can grow, you can do what you need to do, but you need to get to a point where you land it and land results.
Right.
And that's what I try to teach my distributors. This is what I try to teach anyone that I'm speaking to.
Yeah, the motivation is great, but we must materialize the results.
100%, 100%. And I think that's really, really important.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Likewise.
On the podcast. I
Yeah.
appreciate all your support.
Thank you.
And
Thank
everything
you.
you stand for. So
Yeah.
I look forward to keep continuing to work together. And,
Thank you. And I appreciate it. And I think what you're doing and how you're educating people, I think it's absolutely brilliant on this podcast. So long may it continue, my friend.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No problem at all.
Thank you, Shaun.